Welcome back. It's another episode of Prepper Talk Radio, where we are here to help the ready-minded become even more ready-minded. We want to prepare you for anything that life will throw at you. We want to help you become prepared in anything that life specifically with regards to God, family, and country. And we're here and excited for another episode. Scott, Shane, how are you guys feeling?
Feeling good. Thursday afternoons are good days for me.
Nice.
I'm the same. It's like I've been looking forward to this most of the day, and
that's awesome.
You know, I'm on TikTok now. You know, woohoo! And like every Thursday, I'm like, I get to talk about we're doing a video show tonight. We're gonna do the podcast. We're gonna record the podcast. We're gonna be videoing the podcast, and we're gonna podcast the podcast later. And I'm like, that's my favorite thing throughout my week is doing this. Mostly because this gives me more purpose in life. I'm a dad and I love being a dad, and I'm a husband and I love being a husband. And my favorite thing to do is spend time with my family. However, my next favorite is helping people get prepared, helping people understand it's not crazy. It makes sense. It's fun. And I mean, you're going to have a good time doing it. You're going to meet cool people. And
yep.
I mean, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, you know, and I'm a little more pessimistic than you guys. I mean, I think I'm very happy to do this. I love helping people. I love answering questions. Otherwise, you know, my head, boom, you know, I've got to get it out somehow. So that's why I'm here talking. But I'm definitely a little more pessimistic than each of you in that I don't know if we have enough time to do this. I don't know if we're going to make any difference. You know, I do see some people commenting on our Facebook channel and our groups and like, okay, maybe we are going to make a difference for some of these people and help them get ready. Because, you know, I saw a comment the other day that says, well, what do you have? How prepared are you? Where are you at? I have nothing. And my heart sunk when I saw that comment, honestly. And like, okay, we need to do something. But I'm still very pessimistic on how much time we have left. So no waiting, people. Get ready. Get ready.
Here's my response to that, Shane. Shane and I are those two guys on the beach, and there's all these starfish on the beach that are washed up. Right. And I'm the kid out there picking up one and hucking it back into the ocean. And Shane walks up to me and he goes, "What are you doing? You can't save all of them." And I hold up one and I say, "But I can save this one." And I huck it back in. Or it's like in Goonies when everyone's pulling the coins out of the well. And it's like, this is my wish.
That's somebody's wish. I'm taking
this is my wish and I'm taking it back. You know, my wish is to help people get prepared. Even if that means one extra meal, my wish came true.
Right.
And I've done it at great personal loss over the last, 5, 6, 7 years now. Like, and that's okay. Because like the best example is like, we've been living on our food storage for the last 4 years. Like, not just rotating it, but like wearing out the resources we've bought when we had a season of plenty. Like, I feel like Joseph and Pharaoh. I don't know who Pharaoh is in the story, but like my wife and I were like, let's get this stuff. We've got the extra money. Let's get this stuff. We've got the extra money. And it's like, it's all paid off. That's why we prepare, especially when you have seasons of plenty. So, hey, it's tax time, right? Everyone's got tax returns, being filed and processed, and maybe you're getting a refund.
Not me.
Maybe you're not, right? Maybe you're paying more. And if you're paying more, I know taxation is theft, and I'm sorry, but it's like,
thank you.
I got almost all my money back. That's because I'm broke.
I just did a video on my financial channel about why getting a tax return makes no sense, and you've got to watch it. If you're getting a large tax return, you're doing it wrong. But
I made half the money I expected, and I was W-2'd for the half the money that I earned. So I'm like, crap. I gave our government a free loan, a free ride.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah,
exactly.
And you don't earn interest on it, so.
One thing I was going to say is that reminds me of that saying too, is I'd rather shoot for the stars and hit the moon than shoot for the moon and hit a rock. And so in preparedness, people may not get 100% prepared. They may not be 100%, but if they're 10% or 20% by the time, SHTF, it was better than zero. And so, it's funny because I was talking to my wife just last night and I was like, you know what? I don't know I'm kind of have a split personality. I'm kind of a split between totally optimistic and totally pessimistic. I feel like some days, because I'm like, I don't want to talk to people anymore. I don't like people anymore. And then I do these things. I'm like, I love talking to people. I want to talk to more people. I want to get the word out. I want to help people. So it's, it's just the reality of life. So I wanted to, great introduction.
What's that
great
book?
Start. Go ahead.
What's that book? Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or the character Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I don't think that applies there, Scott.
I'm like, yeah, Paris is much nicer, but I'm like, maybe, I don't know. We don't see all of Paris all the time. So he could have the Hyde side where he's just like apocalyptic, destroying his community. I think the Chinese say that you have three faces, right? One, you show your friends, one you show your family, and one that nobody gets to see, right? Only you know yourself.
Or your spouse or closest family members.
Exactly. So yeah, keep that in mind. Maybe that's the case.
So this week we're going to talk a little bit more about the same things that we talked about last week, which were the cyber attacks. How to prepare for those. How to talk specifically. We're going to talk a little bit about what in the world is happening with what Scott coined the elephant in the room. And I was like, there's a couple elephants in this room, we're looking at, but that big elephant in the room that he then qualified as the donkey in the room, which is the Democratic symbol. And so we've got the Biden. There's some reports that have come out of the White House that are just absolutely crazy. And then finish off with some thoughts and feelings about woke culture and the difference between being awake and woke. So stay tuned to the end about the difference between being awake and woke. But before we jump into any of these topics, I just want to remind everybody, please, 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 the Be Prepared Expo is coming up in about 2 weeks, or about from the time this podcast drops. It'll be, the dates are April 22nd and 23rd at the Mountain America Expo in Sandy, Utah. If you're anywhere near Utah or in the area of Utah or within a couple hours of that, it's going to be worth coming to. Friday, it's going to be 12 to 6, and Saturday is 9 to 6. We're going to have a booth there, and we're going to be interviewing and talking, and we're going to have some fun things that we're going to have. Make sure that you're also come and visit us. If you are there, make sure to find our booth, shake our hands, give us a hug, whatever you want to do. And let's just get to know each other, put a face to a name. The other thing is, please, guys, we're building our email list. It's going great. We're getting some good information out to people. In fact, we've got a whole resources page on our website at preppertalkradio.com. And that website, we're putting more resources there as we get them. And we're putting it up there. And if you put in your email address, you'll get access to the downloads that we have available. And Scott just did a video on our YouTube channel about a spreadsheet to calculate how much food storage you need. Fantastic information there. We've got Scott on TikTok killing it with some virals going there. He did a video on TikTok the other day about our Facebook group. And I kid you not, we probably I had to add them all too. I was like, man, what am I doing for the rest of the day? Adding people to our Facebook group. It was awesome. And I think we added 80 or 90 people to the Facebook group over a 24-hour period after he ran that. So join our Facebook group. We got a lot of people communicating, sharing, and having some stuff there. We've got some other things coming up, Discord channels, other stuff to keep us off, the radar. So just stay tuned, just get on our email list, join our Facebook, because we're going to put everything in there first, and then of course you'll hear it here as we get it put up on our sites. We'll hear it. We'll put it on our podcast too. We'll talk about it. But
and the nice thing is if you're on the email list, like we email out every time we do a new document, you've got access to that. Boom, it's there. And that actually grew by twice what the Facebook group grew by. So people are joining that and not Facebook, and that's fine. Connect with us wherever you feel comfortable, and the comments on TikTok from you guys crack me up. Some of you guys drop some of the most amazing nuggets of information. Some of you just you make me love my life. There's so many funny people, and the prepping community is just everyone's kind of circled about and helping each other. And I'm like the new guy to TikTok, but I'm the old guy to prepping. I've been doing this pretty much my whole life. I just didn't know it was prepping. So this is fun. This is exciting. And just engaging with you guys on whichever platform you're most comfortable with, that's where we want to be. And we're on all the podcasts channels. If you want to be on Spotify, go to Spotify. If you want to be on iHeart, go to iHeart. If you want to be on Spreaker, go to we're everywhere. So download, enjoy, tune in. Just don't tune out. Stick with us. It's fun.
So I don't know if you guys heard the news. I know it was on Tucker Carlson this last week. But the Democrats, it says even, I think that the title of Tucker Carlson's video on YouTube was "Democrats have decided to replace Biden." I don't know if you've seen that YouTube video, but it is got some significant information. I think Biden at one point in the video gets lost in the White House. He's moving through a crowd and he doesn't know where he's going, turns around, looks for his wife. There was another scene where he and Obama had an interaction and he's trying to get Obama's attention and Obama's like totally ignoring him. And then at one point in the clip it says Biden's up there giving a speech and he says, "Yeah, when my wife was in the White House and she and Michelle Obama were working together when she was the vice president." And I was like, wait, what? Did he just say his wife was the vice president? It's just like, there's some crazy stuff going on in the White House. What are you guys thoughts, feelings, or what else do you want to add to that?
Well, my initial thoughts were, and he's not going to be around for much longer, it's the difference between left and right, because technically there's no left and right, in my mind, in my view, it's two sides of the same coin, two wings of the same bird, right? But the, previously, and I'm not good about talking about politics, but, previously when Trump was in the White House, they would pick apart every single little thing he did, right? And now these things are happening and the right doesn't say anything. They say nothing about it, not that I'm hearing, right? So I don't know if that's called hypocrisy or what, but it makes no sense to me. Nothing's happening. I mean, Trump, let's impeach him, at the drop of a hat. What's happening with Biden? I mean, everything's coming about around about his son, and his relationship with in Ukraine and with all that dirty business, and nothing's happening. So that's what stands out to me, is like, man, it's the left and the right are the same bird.
Yeah, it's one group. In our nation, it's not, but in our government, it is, right? And not to get too deep into politics, but it's kind of funny because Biden doesn't know if he's president or vice president or what. This last week, Obama gave a speech and he introduced Biden as Vice President Biden. And then Biden came up on stage and introduced himself as Vice President Biden. And then a couple days ago, by the time you hear this, it's been a little longer, Psaki in a press conference talked about this is the Obama administration.
What?
Who's running this show? Like, come on, like, oh my goodness. It's just insane.
Well, they've got to drop their little mistakes here and there to kind of actually advertise the truth of what's going on. Yeah, I don't believe that any of these politicians go out and say anything that's not planned. It's not scripted, right. It's all on purpose. It seems like it's not, and Biden does go off. It seems like he does go off and goes off the teleprompter, from time to time. But for me, I just take it, again, I'm very pessimistic that way. And it's to me, it looks all planned. And I haven't formulated all my theories behind it yet, but it's nefarious is what it is.
When Biden gets up there and says at the end of his speech, he says, "I'm only supposed to take questions from you and you, or they tell me I'll get in trouble if I answer this question or that question." Like, he's the president of the United States. He's supposed to be the leader of the free world, so to speak, and yet he's got this.
Well, you heard when he got his booster, right? His second booster. He's like, "Why are we doing this on stage?" You can hear him say that. Why are we? Wow. Yeah, exactly. It's I don't have much more to say.
Well, then you have to add in all the other stuff going on with the laptop.
Oh, it exists.
He may be the big guy, right? Well, if that's the case, there needs to be some serious action taken. Mm-hmm, and that could be that they're finally letting that out so they can get rid of him. There's so many different theories out there. And without getting crazy, I didn't bring my tinfoil hat. I need to make one of those for the show. Right. But without getting like too obscure, there's so many things going on right now, globally, nationally, and locally. It's easy for all of us to get lost in the weeds and lost in the shuffle and not really know what's going on, because nobody really wants you to know. I mean, was it 2014 that Obama actually made it legal for the media to lie and to propagandize?